Hi, Trichana. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us today on this small episode of Women Empowerment. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for inviting me. It's truly a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Okay, so starting with the first question here, Trichana, what does women empowerment mean to you personally?
Okay, so to me, I think women empowerment means the freedom, the opportunities, and the resources
Mm-hmm,
to, make independent choices,
mm-hmm.
to be able to pursue your dreams, and to contribute to society.
Wonderful. I also feel the same, but just to add a little bit here, I also feel that women empowerment is also about the parity of authority and responsibility. Which simply means that,
That's for
uh,
sure. Yes.
yeah, one without the other is totally incomplete, right? Uh,
That is true.
just to
That
give a
is true.
small example to our listeners, if we hire a watchman and do not give a stick to the watchman, there is no point in him holding relevance, being a watchman by title, but not authority. So that
Yeah.
was the simplest example I could give. So yes, thank you for sharing your thoughts around that. Okay, so how do you think can men be allies in the fight for women's rights and empowerment? How do you think how do you think men can contribute as far as the women's rights
I
are concerned?
think I think it's a very interesting question, Pallavi.
Mhm.
And I would say that, of course, men can be helpful and allies by, advocating
Mhm.
gender equality, also by giving supporting women in
Mhm.
leadership roles,
Okay,
and obviously sharing household responsibilities,
lovely.
and
Sounds wonderful. Mhm.
yeah, and I think creating inclusive workspace, I feel.
Great. That's a wonderful thought. And how well do you think your the men in your family have supported you? Because I believe you are juggling between responsibilities, and you are a teacher today. You are a mother of two kids. So how well do how strong is your support system?
Oh, I would say it is 500 on 100,
Awesome,
because
awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
without them, I'm being blessed with such a supportive family and such a strong
Mhm.
support system. Without them, I wouldn't have able to do, because I have two children going to school, and so without the support system, and especially I would like to point out that without the support of my husband, it wasn't possible for me to pursue my career, my dream career. And he always encourages me, and he always tells me that, go, do
Mhm.
whatever you want to,
Mhm.
things will be taken care of. So
Mhm.
it's not that he's doing all the chores, of course he's not, but saying this and giving that comfort zone to somebody, that, go, I'm with you, don't worry
Mhm.
about it, don't worry, when you are at work,
Mhm.
just be at work, when you are home, just be at home. I think that's a very big support system I have.
Absolutely, and that's so wonderful to know because not everybody is fortunate as you. Honestly, in that respect, even I'm very fortunate because my
Wow.
husband is very very caring, very considerate, and he shares responsibilities at work as well as at home. Rather, you must have heard us saying that behind every successful man there's a woman. In my case, it's the opposite. My husband saw in me
How
what I did.
wonderful.
Yeah, so he saw in me what I did not see in myself in terms of my own potential. So yes, I believe that men can play a very, very important part, and it just can give us an extra high in terms of fulfilling our duties. More
I
happily
agree.
if they have if we have their back,
I
and vice
agree. I
versa.
agree.
Right. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for that. Okay, so what are some challenges that women face in achieving true empowerment in today's society, according to you?
Well, hmm. Challenges, I would say, is what I really feel, Pallavi, especially in India, it's the safety concerns,
Mm-hmm.
which I think women is facing.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, again, lack of representation in leadership, and it's gender based discrimination, unequal
Mm-hmm.
pay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think society is, getting aware of these things, and
Correct.
now women are getting, opportunities to prove themselves. But by and large, I still feel that safety is still a very
Mhm.
big concern for
And I
women.
totally agree with you there. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much we juggle and multitask, we are women at the end of the day, and we are vulnerable to things around us. So yes, absolutely. But I'm sure what you correctly mentioned is the fact that awareness is being created around the safety concerns, and I'm sure women also have to, take that extra edge to be careful and not just equate themselves in all respect, because at the end of the day, the gender definitely makes a difference. So
That's
it
true.
would be nice if we limit ourselves to certain norms for our own individual safety. So thank you for
Yeah.
that. Okay, so moving on, in what ways can women support other women in their personal and professional lives, according to you?
Okay. So again, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, apart from advocating equal opportunities and celebrating achievement, I think that it is very important for one woman to other women to lift each other rather than
Absolutely.
competing with
Absolutely.
each other.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful
You
thought.
know,
That's a wonderful thought. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And
yeah,
we as women must realize that we are not competition to each other. You know, we
yeah.
should
This
complement
is
each
what. Yeah,
other. I'll give you a small example here. Like, I am of the belief that even if we make friends, it's a good idea to uplift your friends in some way or the other rather than just being with them to enjoy that momentary pleasure, which means that if we know them so
yeah.
well, in some way or the other, we should be adding value to their life.
That
You
is so
know,
true. Yeah,
so I think that is what would make the relationship more meaningful.
yeah.
So yes,
That is so
absolutely, we
true.
should complement each other. Like I have made it a point in my home to compliment my mother-in-law for anything good that she does, because I did realize that being a male-driven society, most of the work that women do is considered to be thankless, and men behave as if they deserve it. They deserve it. But
Yeah,
I have noticed that difference in my mother-in-law now, to the extent that she waits for that compliment from me, because she knows that
yeah,
I'm the only one who would appreciate her for the good work. And being human, I think that's the
yeah,
basic need that all of us have, a basic need to be
yeah.
loved
That is,
and to be
yeah.
appreciated.
Love and respected.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely. And
yes.
not only my mother-in-law, even my own mother for that matter, I mean, not because she's my mother, but I have seen her through thick and thin, and I feel that
Mm,
she does deserve a certain level of appreciation. Not just her, my Masis, anybody for that matter. Like my Masi visited
mm,
me this year, and on the personal front, I felt that these people have been so dedicated towards their families. We have spent so much of our childhood there. They deserve to
mm.
celebrate themselves. So it was an honor to
That's true.
celebrate her birthday, and I just felt so fortunate, being around her and loving her and being loved in return. So definitely, as
Hmm.
women, we all should complement each other. So wonderful thoughts
Yeah.
there, Richard. Thank you. How can technology be used as a tool, you think, for empowering women, particularly in developing countries?
Okay, so I think developing or developed or underdeveloped, I can't say about underdeveloped, but even developed and developing, I can't. And countries like us in India, we can't
Mm-hmm.
even think our lives without technology because, thanks to COVID in that
Mm-hmm.
manner, because COVID taught us and it, brought that revolution,
Mm-hmm.
that without stepping out of your house, life doesn't stop, and it is only because of technology. You
Mhm.
have access to education, you have access to your financial services. For any banking transaction, you
Hmm.
don't have to physically go to your bank and do the
Correct,
things.
correct, correct.
You have your healthcare. So no, I think in 21st century we can't even think of our lives without technology anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. As integral as are our family members, so is technology today. I mean, it's absolutely indispensable. And I still remember the COVID times when we could stay connected with our families just because of the availability of technology. You know, we could see each other, we could organize events,
Mm,
and we could just stay connected so well. So yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Technology is definitely an integral part of us. Okay, Prachura. So, what is the significance of women having a seat at the table in the decision-making process, according to you? How important do you think it is for women to come to the forefront as far as assuming the role of a decision maker is concerned?
Well, Pallavi, I think it is very, very important because, if you are giving a chance to the women
Mm-hmm,
to make decisions, then you will have a diverse perspective
mm-hmm,
of the issues.
absolutely.
Plus, you will have solution that address affecting, you will have solutions that address issues affecting half of the population. So
Okay.
I think it, yeah,
Uh-huh.
it is,
Uh-huh.
and you have more inclusive policies.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and because of the perspective thing, and it is not biased. I think it is very important.
Absolutely, I do feel so, and everything starts from home. So, right from taking decisions at home to, to moving on to empowering roles. Like a classic example is Mrs. Rekha Gupta. She has assumed the role of a she has assumed the role of Chief Minister of Delhi today, and we all are very proud of that. So, yes, definitely, I think women really need to come to the forefront to take decisions. They should not be dependent on, the husbands for every small thing. Rather, why only small decisions? They should, I feel, if they have the capability to take on the leadership role, they should very well be a decision maker, and that would just, save a lot of time for the family. They would be able to handle emergencies better, and I'm sure they should be encouraged to come to the forefront. So yes, what you said is correct. So moving on to my last question now, how does financial independence contribute to women's empowerment?
Oh, I think it is very important, Pallavi, because financial independency of a woman cannot be underestimated, as it provides the freedom to make our own choices, and we can obviously we can invest in our personal growth, and we can invest in our education,
Mhm.
and very important is that a woman can escape abusive situations if she is
Certainly.
financially independent.
Very well said.
And I think in this actually this adds up to the economic and the social development of any country. So
Absolutely.
yes, financial independence is
Absolutely.
very important.
And I think if they are financially independent, they can be better decision makers, So I think decision making and financial independence in a way does go hand in hand too. Unless there is immense awareness and adequate awareness for I mean amongst men to allow women to take decisions even though they may not be financially independent. But that's a rare case today. So I feel
That's
finances
right.
and decision making definitely goes hand in hand, and both are equally important to empower the women, for them to lead and to be torch bearers, not just for their respective
Yeah,
families, but for their respective cities, and eventually for their states and
societies.
countries. Uh, so absolutely.
Yeah.
So lovely speaking with you, Trishra. Okay, Trishra. So just to conclude the discussion, how important is personality development and confidence building is in any woman's life, you know, especially if they have to take on the leadership roles? And what is the importance of communication today? English communication per se.
I think, Pallavi, it's very, very important, given the fact that English is a global language and our education is in English. It provides job offers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it is the medium of, how you can express your feelings, your thoughts to the other person. So, of course, communication is very important, English communication. And yeah, without personality, so, so personality development, again, how to present yourself in a positive, in a manner which is approachable, which is positive, which is inspirational, so that people would want to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
People would, and
Mm-hmm.
the personality and the communication is such, and the confidence is such, that you are able to convince
Mm-hmm.
the other person
Mm-hmm.
of your thought process. So I think it is vital
Okay.
in today's world.
Uh-huh.
And uh, yeah.
Okay. And do you think women really need to work on courses like personality development, and they really need to take up courses
Of
like
course they
confidence
should. Of
building?
course, of course they should. Because these courses and the one you are providing, I know, it polishes,
Uh-huh.
the
The
it
individual. Uh-huh.
polishes ones, the individuals.
Uh-huh.
Yes, how to
Okay.
present yourself, how
Uh-huh.
to, and these are the things which the multinationals and the corporate world is actually looking for and is missing.
Uh-huh.
So it is, I think you are doing a great job by, giving this platform and giving this opportunity
Mhm.
to the people who wants to learn this. So I think
Thank
you
you so
are
much
doing
for
a
that.
fab job.
Thank you so much. Well, what I personally feel, Vichra, is that everything starts from home. For me, personality development is not about wearing brands. It's about, enriching yourselves from
Yeah.
within. It's about working on your own habits. It's about, inculcating small habits, like whatever you start, you finish. Talking politely, respectfully. Taking ownership, taking a lead in doing things.
And
Uh,
I think
you know,
it will also help you bring out your best self.
Absolutely. So it helps you bring out the best version in you. But yeah, absolutely. So I personally feel, being a communication coach, being an English communication coach, that personality development, has a wider aspect to itself. It's just not
Yeah.
limited to, how you look, because, when we talk about personality development, we need to develop our personality not just basis the content, not just basis how well we present ourselves, but how much of the improvement do we see in our own inner self, in our approach towards any situation that we face.
Yes.
So ideally, it gets that leadership side out of you, because the courses
Yeah.
are grilling, the courses are activity based, and they really make the person believe that the focus should be on themselves, rather, and instead of
Mhm.
blaming others, the leadership calls for action. So we have to start taking action towards any little thing that we commit ourselves to. So personality development
Yeah.
is definitely very broad, in that sense.
Very
So,
broad. And
and
I think it is also teaching you the soft skills. It is also,
absolutely, it's a combination. Yeah, it's a combination of
yeah.
everything. It's a combination of a
And
lot of things. Absolutely.
kudos to you guys, because I don't know many people in India who's doing such kind of courses.
Oh,
So
thank you so
kudos
much
to
for
you.
that. I'm sure there must be others too, But it's a small contribution from our side. We believe in the thought that leaders create leaders. So we would really like everybody who's associated with us to get to explore the best version of themselves, and to lead in whichever
Yes.
domain they aspire to lead. So yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So now, as we are moving towards the end of the conversation, Pritchira, do you have any question for me? So the pattern of our conversation is such that you can ask any one question towards the end of the conversation. So any one question that you'd like to ask me?
Um, I never thought of it. Okay, tell me, Pallavi, what do you feel the students today,
Okay.
since you
Uh-huh.
have trained so many people,
Mhm.
in your organization. So, according to you, I want to know, like, what students are lacking, and what is that one thing which is lagging in their growth?
Okay. So it's a very good question, Trisha. Thank you for putting that question up. It's a very, very relevant question and ideally my favorite too. So what we do is during the time when we counsel the students, what we realize is the fact that either they come in for some kind of a stopgap arrangement, so they either join the classes with an idea of filling up that gap for a few days and then just moving out of it. Since parents can afford these courses, so parents happily invest, students come, they leave the courses halfway and go, which I feel is not a good idea. So what I see missing in the students is that passion, that zest, and that awareness of the fact that they need to improve, they need to learn, they need to grow, and they need to take on a leadership role. So that is one thing that I
Hmm.
find missing in them. So uh, what we would really like students coming to us to have in them is that zest and that passion and that zeal, to learn, to grow, to
Wow.
lend a helping hand to others. So learning should not
Mhm.
be limited to oneself. I feel they should learn, care, share, and assume a leadership role in their own domains. So that's
Mhm.
zest and passion, like I said, is one thing that I see missing in
Okay.
them.
Well said. Well said, Pallavi.
Thank you so much for that conversation, Prichira. Lovely talking to you, and we look
Thank
forward to
you.
having more
Thank
conversations.
you. Same
Thank you
here.
so much. Have a
Thank you
lovely
so
day
much.
ahead, and
Thank
happy
you
Women's Day
for
in advance.
inviting me.
Thank you.
Yeah.